hope you're keeping well. This afternoon I'm going to do a review on a new boot I've had. So it's the Salomon Quest 4D3 GTX. So I've worn this a couple of times and I shall tell you a bit about it, but let me tell you a bit of a backstory. So this is my previous boot. It's the Salomon Outback 500 and still a perfectly good boot, wearable boot, but I've got the wrong boot here actually. It's on the left boot. On the front here it had cracked on both sides and water was starting to seep in. I noticed this because when I used to take my boot off, my socks were dirty and damp, so water had started to seep in. Now Salomon are pretty good. If you go on their website, as long as your boot is still under its warranty and you've got its proof of purchase, they will replace the boot. All you have to do is fill in an online form and you have to take the details that are on your label inside your boot there. So there's an art number and it'll have the date of manufacturing. Fill in all that, tell them what the problem is, take some pictures of the boot and that label and the problem, and they will sort it out for you. Now Salomon were pretty good. They recognised that it was a manufacturer's fault straight away and offered me a refund of sorts. So I actually bought these from Cotswold. Now the one in Shrewsbury where I used to work has unfortunately closed down, so I couldn't take them back there. So Salomon offered me a replacement for the full price of this boot, which was £160. That is still what it's retailing for at the moment. The Outback 500 is still retailing for £160. So they offered me a gift refund for that amount, which I had to spend on their website. I was a little bit annoyed about that because given the choice I probably would have bought a different make to Salomon. I fancied a pair of leather boots and had my heart set on the Scarpa Terra leather boots, but that wasn't to be. So I had £160 to spend on their website, on the Salomon website. So I had heard good reviews about the Quest 4D. When I worked at Cotswold, there was always good reviews about this boot. So it was within my budget that I could spend. I think these are retailing at the moment anywhere between £120 and £180. They were in the sale on the Salomon website, so they were for £124. Unfortunately I couldn't use the difference on anything else, but never mind. So I've worn this boot about 3 or 4 times now. Well, not just this boot, this pair of boots, about 3 or 4 times, and it is extremely comfortable. The only thing to bear in mind with Salomon is they are an Italian make, so apparently Italian people have narrower feet than the rest of Europe and the world, and they have narrower feet than us in the UK. So my tip if you are thinking of buying a Salomon boot is you may need to go a size or even a size and a half up than your normal size. I am a 5.5. I've got baby feet. These are a 6.5 and they are still a little teeny weeny bit too tight across the toe box. My little toe on my left foot has got rubbed and it has got a tiny blister on. Nothing major, nothing worth sending the boot back for. I just stuck some Germaline new skin on it and a plaster, and it'll be fine. So that's my only little negative about them. As I said, they are extremely comfortable. The sole on them is probably maybe a centimetre or so thicker than the Outback 500, so when I first put these on I did feel taller, which was strange. They are higher up the ankle, probably about half an inch or so. They have amazing ankle support, really thick padding around your ankles, so they feel really secure. And I do worry about my ankle sometimes because I've been over on my ankle once before, and I do stress about that if I'm walking on uneven surface. So the 4D, the boots before used to be the 3D, and now they're called the 4D, which is all to do with the chassis of the boots, the sole, the lugs, the grips. It's all designed to give you a more stable walking platform, so to speak, over looser terrain and rockier terrain. Also, it's supposed to be a bit more easy on your feet, so your feet don't get fatigued or tired over long periods of time. The chassis of the boot is taking the pounding, the pressure, rather than the soles of your feet. So if you're walking over prolonged periods and carrying a heavier pack, these are designed to take some pressure off your feet compared to the 3D. The material of the boots is, so you've got the membrane, which is your Gore-Tex, and the Gore-Tex lining inside, and then you've got Nubuck suede, which is really nice. Compared to these, it's just material all over. So this is Nubuck suede, so a bit more durable. Obviously needs to be treated different to just the material boot. These I could just clean in a bowl of hot water and spray them with like Nikwax spray. These will need treating because it's suede, and you have to remember that suede is still a living, breathing material, so it has to be moisturized over time. People think that you can just put something like dubbing or beeswax on it. You can. Beeswax preferable, as it's a bit kinder to the material. They will need waterproofing, but they do need some kind of moisturising product to go on it that's designed for leather and suede, and that's just to keep the suede supple so it doesn't crack over time. Lacing system, they're quite decent long laces, as you can see, and they have the eyelet lock there, which your lace goes round, and then further ones on up the top. What I did like about the Outback 500s is they had a different lace locking system. So they had this little eyelet that moves. When you pull the lace tight and do that, it used to lock into position. It's the same kind of principle on this, but it's just a loop instead that they go round. So yeah, I mean, you can have the laces done all the way up to the top if you wanted. If you're just going on a pavement pounding walk, you don't need to do your laces all the way up to there. People think that you do, but you don't. That's just to give you more ankle support if you're walking over rocky terrain. The tongue is a gusseted tongue, so it means that it's connected. It's not a loose separate tongue, it's actually connected to the rest of the boot, and that's just to stop water and grit getting in through the front of the boot. The sole, so the lug system, it's a nice deep tread you've got there. I mean, these are worn down now, but as you can see, there is quite a difference between the treads on the two boots. So going to give you extra grip as well, so it's Contragrip sole, and yeah, that's about it really. As I said, they are really comfortable weight wise. So these are, what does it say, weight on them? I did weigh them. These are about 550 grams compared to these, which are 450, so 100 grams difference. So it's quite significant. So these I'll still wear in the summer. when it's dry. You know, there's still lots of wear in them. It's just that they were starting to leak, and these I'm wearing now in the winter. So yeah, apart from them being a little narrow, no other negatives, I don't think. Price wise, average for a boot. You get what you pay for. If you want a quality boot, you can't spend any less than about £120, I don't think, I've learned. So at the moment these were £124 on the Salomon website. You can get them on Cotswolds that don't have this brown colour. They have more of a bluey, insipid colour, worse than this. I quite like this colour. The version that they have on Cotswold is not a nice colour, so I really do like this brown. It's a proper boot colour. So yeah, I can't think of anything else to tell you about them. They are Gore-Tex, waterproof. They have great treads on them. Go up a size and a half. Obviously, normally I would advise you to go into a shop and try them on. Never buy boots online if you haven't tried them on. It just doesn't work. Your feet are... You can't buy a boot specific for your size. I have learnt that. These are a 6.5. Like I said, I'm normally a 5.5. I have tried on dozens of boots and shoes when I worked at Cotswold, all in my size, and they all fitted differently. Some were too small, I could barely get them on. For example, Salomon trail shoes, they are so snug fitting I could not get them on. And then the other extreme is you've got Keen and lower boots, which are a wider fitting, and I basically had to almost go down a half size because they were so wide and my feet were just slipping about in them. So I had to trust my instincts, and because I've had a pair of Salomon before, I went with the size that I had before, and thankfully they were fine apart from the little rub. I know it's hard at the moment because we can't go into shops. Again, with asking advice on Facebook, I see posts from people asking, what boots do you recommend? I could recommend these. I do recommend these, that's why I'm doing this video. But for somebody else, they may be the worst boot ever. So the only advice I can give you is, when you can, go in and go around as many different outdoor shops as you can. Try on as many as you can. Maybe not all in the same day because it would be just too much, but just keep popping back in and trying different boots and shoes on. If you know what style you like, that's fine. If you want a leather boot, try on leather boots. If you want a material boot, try on material boots. I cannot tell you what boot is right for you, and from experience from working in a outdoor shop, I cannot pass that advice on to you as a customer. I cannot tell you what boot is right for you. I can advise you, I can show you others, but I cannot tell you what the boot is for you. So please, when you can, just go in and try as many as you can on. Take a pair of walking socks, the socks that you would normally walk in, go in, try them on, have a walk round. If they don't feel right there and then they're probably not going to feel right if you took them home and did a walk in them. They should really fit right straight from the box. If they don't feel right, if you can feel a niggle, you're going to feel that niggle on a 10 or 12 mile walk, and it is going to bug you. And unfortunately, once you've bought a pair of boots, taken the labels off them and taken them out for a walk, you cannot take them back to the shop. So if it doesn't feel right in the shop, it's not going to feel right. So this is just my review on these boots, my personal opinion on them. I like them. I'm going to keep them, obviously, because I've worn them. The little toe niggle, I can get past that. That's nothing major. But obviously, these boots are right for me. So yeah, when you can, go and try on boots in the shop, and hopefully that time will be coming soon. So thank you very much for watching. So these are the Quest 4D GTX 3. I get those numbers the wrong way around, but yeah, great boot for me. And thank you for watching, and hopefully there'll be some more reviews coming soon and some more walks. So take care, see you soon.